Amidst the sea of competitive games with tight-knit communities and fun gameplay to bond over, there's a bit of a modern hidden gem out there, one that deserves to be talked about and celebrated much more than it currently is. I'm talking Mario Tennis Aces, the, for right now, latest entry in the Mario Tennis series. This game is what put my name on the map, and I suppose it's owed that I talk about it. So let's do that. There's a lot of things I like about the game, and the focus of this video will be on 3 of those things. 1. The competitive balance of the game today. 2. The surprising amount of depth to the game that lies below the game's surface. And 3. The outstanding community behind it. Now, you may remember the earliest days of this game being dominated by Bowser Jr., Waluigi, and if you played simple mode, Boo. In fact, I'd imagine that's all the game is known for in the general online public's eyes. And that's why I'm starting with this point first. It might be a little late in addressing it, but a year of balance patches and an evolving understanding of the game lends itself to a much more enjoyable meta. While the balance isn't exactly perfect, long gone are the days of Bowser Jr. not even bothering to use his left stick, or Boo lunging infinitely and laglessly while curving massive slices around you. Today's top tiers are a lot less outrageous, and the problem characters I mentioned before range from mid to bottom tier in our community tier lists. Instead, today's top tiers are ones that actively engage in the game. Characters like Koopa, Peach, and Petey, to an extent, can't rely on a single brain-celled strategy to win. They're having to play all parts of the game well enough to amass their victories. I will say though, that Petey is banned from our community's simple single tourneys thanks to a vote, and it was well deserved too. Petey played all parts of the game too well for the mode to handle. But if the game started and ended with characters, there wouldn't be a game at all. What a game needs is crisp gameplay. This game has 4 primary buttons to do the tennis thing with. A is your topspin, B is your slice, Y is your flat, and X is your lob and drop. Simple, but the amount of factors that determines how your shot comes out is large and varied, to say the least. Which button did you press? How much charge did you get before swinging? How slow or fast was the ball before you swung? What was the height of the ball? Was your return a volley or a ground stroke? Did you single tap or double tap your button of choice? How good is your character's stats? What angle did you choose? Where on the court are you? What court are you even playing on? All of these questions and even more are answered each time you return the ball, and each answer is always going to be different from the last. And that is just simple mode mechanics. We haven't even gotten to standard mode mechanics like meter, special, zone speed, zone shot, trick shot, the return triangle, and a lot more. But this video is meant to be a primer, so I won't inundate you with even more details than I already have. Point I'm building towards is that the game is so good at keeping things simple and clean on the surface while being jam-packed with dynamic decision-making determined by the factors I previously mentioned. Then there's the hype moments of the game, the stuff that gets you out of your seat cheering with excitement. Raw blocking supers, a desperate lunge to make the save, making the meter come back and shifting the momentum of the game in your favor. Aces is also excellent in conveying on-screen information at any given time. Is your opponent charging up a powerful return? A twinkle on their racket and the color trail to follow gives you a split second to either predict or react to it. Make the right shot counter against your opponent's charge shot? You don't spin out or get pushed back as far. Did your opponent send back a weak shot via lunge? There's no color trail behind the ball, and the perfect spot to send it home is on the ground in the form of a star, letting everyone anticipate ahead of time the scenario about to unfold. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about this game's roster. Now, there is a fair bit of Bowser's minions, but we got some of the unique ones who haven't been in the spotlight before, like Spike, Chain Chomp, and Boom Boom. This was also Pauline's playable debut, and we got some crowd favorites like Petey. We even got something off the wall like Fire Piranha Plant. Why that Piranha Plant specifically? I don't know. I'd also be remiss if I didn't talk about the game's flaws, because I know it's a go-to when critiquing the game. Story mode was merely okay, if a bit boring. Basically, an ancient tennis demon is awakened or something, and Mario has to stop it. If anything, the story mode was a nice way to teach the player the mechanics of the game that might not necessarily be immediately intuitive without a tutorial. Not going to completely let it off the hook for the comparatively shallow campaign, but I will say it shouldn't detract from the best part of the game, which is the multiplayer. Can I also say this game is like the only game Nintendo has ever made like a proper online leaderboard? Win matches, gain elo, lose matches, lose elo. You can even look at the leaderboards to see who's top ranked in numerical order. This is like the only time Nintendo has done this, which is astonishing to me. The fact that they even added a leaderboard is astonishing. Not that Nintendo hasn't done so before or after, in case it wasn't clear. And the last thing I need to cover is just how damn lovely the community is. I moderated the MTalk Discord for the better part of 3 years, and it is genuinely one of the nicest and most close-knit communities out there. 7 years removed from the game's release, and there's still a small but dedicated group of players still enjoying the game, many of whom I'm honored to call friends. Tourneys are still being held, friendly lobbies are still being hosted, and people still enjoy talking about the game. If nothing else, I just wanted to highlight a game that brought me so much unexpected joy and lifted me out of what could have been some very lonely years post-college. Becoming a top player and making some lifelong friends along the way wasn't what I expected when I bought it on a whim in 2018, but I'm grateful as hell that's what happened. Now that the Switch 2 is out, Nintendo tends to make at least one tennis game per console. I'd have to imagine the next Mario Tennis game is coming in due time, so before that happens, I thought I should have at least one video dedicated to pouring my heart out for MTA. I know you weren't the most popular title, with all due and undue criticism attached to your name, but you gave me my name. From the first time I started beating top players, to the professional tourney wins, to the incredible people I met and the friends I made, thanks for all of it. If you'd like to see more from me, feel free to click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to see more MTA related content, I have a short series on the various characters in the game. Click somewhere to watch, I don't know. YouTube likes to rearrange their website once every 6 months, so no matter what I say, it's probably gonna be outdated. So just subscribe, I guess, and then maybe you'll see my videos. Great, see you in the next one, bye!